once again, I'm interviewing the tallest man of E3, and the game, of course, is NHL 12, and we made him sit down here so we could be in the same frame. But exciting times for the game and for you guys. Vancouver are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Can you tell us what are the major changes in NHL 12?
So we got lots of great changes this year. For E3, we're focusing on three major things. We're focusing on our presentation with the Winter Classic this year for the first time in our game. We're focusing on the physicality of the sport and everything being live with our new physics engine, our full contact physics engine, so building on what we did last year. And then the third thing we're really focused on this year is just really showcasing our goalies. So when we talk about making everything live, we got to make the goalies live too. So the goalies are live this year.
So the Winter Classics, something that has really blown up and become a huge thing over the last few years. And of course, I think the last one was Montreal versus Calgary this year. Or
Heritage, that's right, yeah.
Heritage. A lot of exciting games, but of course one thing that is affected by the outdoors is the ice surface. So how does that how do you deal with that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, when we first started thinking about the Winter Classic, it's such a huge event for the NHL, probably, it's a marquee event outside of the playoffs. We wanted to have the ideal conditions, have the snow in there, have the authentic arena, have the breath, have all the, all the secondary characters, all the coach wearing the fedora and everything. But we also wanted to impact gameplay. So, when you're playing in the Winter Classic, you'll see the puck rolling more using the full contact physics engine again, driving all of that. So as the ice gets worn down, you'll see more rolling pucks. You take a slap shot and a rolling puck, you'll see knuckleballs, tougher for the goalie to handle. So we didn't want it to be all visual. You wanted to have some gameplay impact as well.
And you talked about the physicality engine a little bit. So how have you tweaked it since the last time around?
Yeah, so this year we really wanted to make everything live in the game. Before we talk about getting to the extremes, we want to talk about really focus on the big, strong guys in the NHL and making sure that they play like big, strong guys. So if you have a big, strong defenseman in front of the net, you'll see him driving little guys out of that crease area. And if you have a little guy in front of the net, you'll see him spinning, trying to get open. So really trying to create this, this organized chaos in front of the net where anything can happen, and big, strong guys feel like big, strong guys. And the other thing with the physicality is, last year was all about a real-time physics where every single player, whether it was player-on-player or player-on-board collision, felt different because of the physics. We wanted to extend that beyond just the ice surface. So everything now around the boards will be live. So we'll see breaking glass. You can put guys into the bench. You can knock the goalie for the first time. You can knock the net off its moorings. Helmets will pop off on big hits. On big hits, you'll see both guys fall down. So really just using the physics engine, the power of the physics to power everything in our game.
Is it sometimes, because I remember last game a lot was focused on the sticks and things like that, and sometimes adding realism isn't necessarily fun. So how have you looked at tweaking that to sort of make sure that the experience is as good as it can be? Yeah,
no, that's a good question too. One of our fundamentals is just authenticity and being as authentic to the sport as we can. Like you mentioned, sometimes authenticity can get in the way of gameplay. So, when we have to make those decisions and walk that fine line, we tend to err more on the side of creating a great gameplay experience and sacrificing a little bit of authenticity, but authenticity is still really important to us.
Because when you watch an NHL game, you just see thousands of dollars going to broken sticks every period.
Absolutely, yeah. You see 3, 4, 5 sticks sometimes these days. It's unbelievable.
I guess it's these new carbon sticks that when they break, they break.
Yeah, there's no wearing down. It's either they're good or they're broken.
But I guess that's something that you have to think about as a game developer to make sure that people get the best experience possible.
All the time, you can't have a great game without great gameplay. So gameplay is always our focus, always the core of our experience. And like I mentioned, just the authenticity is a huge part of it as well. But when we have to walk that fine line, gameplay takes precedent, making sure that the user can do what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
Are you looking to make any changes in the online game this year?
We got lots more great announcements coming up. Only talking about the 3 things for now, but in the near future, you'll be hearing about all the other great stuff we're doing, which I'm super excited to talk about. I just can't yet.
And NHL will be out in September, as always.
September 13th.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.